Good morning, or whatever time it may be for you. I thought I will be creating a Halloween art. This is what I usually do for myself as a celebration for Halloween, as it is not really a holiday celebrated in our country, the country I'm from. So here you are going to see me sketch. I am showing you my favoriteest pen ever. I love it. It's pretty much the one I live for. I know it's ridiculous, but it is the only pen that I am so happy to use, and it brings me so much joy. I have like a whole pack of them, like a 50 pack, because I was pretty sure they're going to discontinue them. And when I went to the what's it called, not bookstore, a stationery store, to the stationery store to check out for my favorite pens, they were gone, so I was glad I did that purchase. Yeah, here I'm doing like quick sketches with the pen, thumbnailing, just to get my ideas across. As you can see, they weren't going quite fluidly. And just as I am thinking there on the video, I am thinking over the voiceover as well. The thing is, like, the ideas, I had so much overflowing ideas, like literally the night prior to sitting down and recording my sketching process, and afterwards everything just went out of my head like nothing ever happened. So I just continued with my initial idea. As you can see, the first and the second thumbnail don't really differ that much in concept, just in how do you English as well? How do I just rearrange the main components of the picture to make it make sense? Also, the sketchbook I'm using, I had ordered it from Zen Market just to try it out. It has been one of my very favorite books that I have used, considering I don't really use sketchbooks. I primarily just use loose leaves of paper, no matter their size, sometimes even napkins, and just collect them if I like them, and if I don't, I just let them be, I guess. Anyways, I like this sketchbook quite a lot, primarily because of the way the paper is. How do I even explain its texture? It's not like glossy, but it's like so smooth, and as you can see, like underneath that page, it is semi-transparent, and I really like this. Even though some people might dislike it, I really like it. So yeah, I think it said it was made of rice paper or something. I think I tried drawing at random pages in this sketchbook, since it was literally essentially well, it was mainly my very first sketchbook that I have used as it is supposed to be used, like a sketchbook. Yeah, and I still keep it. Of course I keep it. I also use it to this day when I have random ideas. Right now, in the moment of this recording, that is, I am using a different quote unquote sketchbook. It's more like a very thin notebook that I got from AliExpress. And yeah, so I will leave it to this, with me finishing up here the thumbnailing process. Or will I? Oh, clearly I am just refining the little bits that I liked. I like going first very, very light with the pen, and then whatever I like, I go over with a thicker stroke. Oh, look at that. Now we're showing off the papers that I'm going to be using. More like I'm gonna use A4 paper. This is a little drawing I made for different things. Here I'm just trying to visualize how I would like the thumbnail to be, either on the A5 or the A4 paper. And I went with the A4 paper, but in the A5 paper I have the swatches for the paints I'll be using, so it is mandatory that I have it near me. And as you can see, I chose this one. I think it said it had a fine finish or whatever. I don't pay attention, I have forgotten a lot of stuff. So here, let me see what I did. Oh yeah, preparing my pencil, my eraser. This, not the pencil, but it's actually one of the best mechanical pencils for my hand. And the eraser is another one that I got from surprise box. Oh, wait, isn't it amazing how professional my perspective drawing is? Absolutely scientific. The beginning lines are pretty much invisible to the camera since I do them so thinly by default. And just as with the pen, I kind of do light strokes, and then with the strokes I like, I go over to thicken them to make it visible what I want. And after they have been thickened, they get traced over yet again. And enjoy the time lapse for the time being of me sketching lightly with the pencil. Oh yeah, it's been so long since I've seen this video that I've stitched that I forgot how it went. I think I did it in the span of a few days, so primarily that's the main reason why the lighting conditions might change. Otherwise what? Otherwise nothing. And here we can see me thickening the lines, and clearly you can see where the lighter lines are, how messy they are. But to get a clean thing, you kind of have to get messy. Oh yeah, the thing I was thinking about, usually when I paint paintings or draw drawings, is there like a unified word for painting and drawing? Because in my language they're pretty much the same, so you don't really consider the differences between the two, which is why I tend to use them interchangeably. So For people who want to be specific about it, please do not take it seriously. Anyways, as I do my drawings, I don't tend to think about a story. I just let my mind flow, and my favorite thing is to actually let the viewer of the painting make the story as they wish. Of course, probably I also, not probably, definitely I do have a story that I make in my mind about the paintings that I create. Sometimes it's very, like, the painting shows it, but not always. Like, I do not, or have not, to be more precise, have not done intentional storytelling through any of the drawings I have made. Not that you'll see them, because I've been doing it as a hobby for a while, and this is just me trying to upload my hobby to make it seen, because why the hell not, really? It's like, sometimes I just want to share what I do, and it is nice to have a record of perhaps when you would end up messing up, and have people be like, haha, no, ah, and stuff like that. Here I am trying to choose a fine liner I will use for the final tracing over, and since I'm going to be using watercolors, it is imperative that I know which of my fine liners are not going to dissolve in water. And just before I do that, I do little swatch tests, as you can see on the paper, with just sketches and stuff. This one, they're not exactly fully my sketches, they're mostly my boyfriend's sketches, because we were discussing an idea about a present. That's about it for this. So I decided to use this fine liner over there that I got. Bloop. And yeah. Oh yeah, this is another thing that it's just something it's like a me thing. Whenever I use a paper, I know some people actually use like masking tape or washi tape or whatever to create the frame within the paper of the image. However, I'm not that kind of person. I love using the paper from edge to edge, even though sometimes it may end up creating problems, like bleeding behind the other pages behind it, or like making a mess on the table itself. But it's just like my body has a reaction to use the whole page and to not make it framed. I think in school, in art class, I might have tried to do that, but beyond that, within my personal art stuffs, I don't think I have. Here I changed to highlighter fine liner just to indicate the transparency of the little ghosties, since going with line art, I guess, is my favorite approach, because my favorite sketching tool is the pen that I used for the thumbnails, so it just feels nice. So I think this is pretty much all I'll be saying for this section of the video. Ah! Ah! And as you clearly saw, the lights suddenly got changed. Lights changing like this is not due to daylight. It was just my... I guess it was time for me to finish with my drawing session. And here came the next day. Ooh, oh my gosh, I love this eraser. I love it. It is my all-time favorite. Literally, this one I actually got from a surprise box. I think it was from Zenpop. I was kind of inspired to fetch that surprise box from Drawing with Waffles. I really enjoy her videos quite a lot. I love her energy. It's kind of interesting how one makes fun of with himself or of himself when just alone, speaking into the recording device. See how good the eraser is? I love it so much. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I finish it up, but thankfully it turns out so slowly. And it's not like I'm drawing every goddamn single day of my life. I also have a job to attend to, so my time is limited. But that's alright. Here are the pens I shall be using. And the swatches that I made, and next to the swatches is the practice painting I made with the swatches. I got the paints as a present, but like I asked for this present, so I'm so happy. The brushes I really love, like those traditionally Western ones, those two. The shape is the one I love and I default to always. Oh yeah, it has swatches inside as well. Originally I was going to get this set of paints for another project I had in mind, but at the time they didn't have it at the store, so I just had to go with something else. And actually I got the Koi Neon paints and it turned out quite nice. Definitely the vibe of the paint sets are so much different. Like the Koi Neon ones are so whimsical, I guess is the best description I could use about it. And these are just so dark and misty and mysterious, since they have graphite and you know that's gray and stuff. And since they're so dark and mysterious, I thought I shall be using them for the Halloween art, because, you know, Halloween, spooky season! When I was in America for my J1 program, I was so surprised to see that the Halloween preparations actually start all the way from like the end of August. I was about to say all the way from September, which is like, oh, that's just a month away from October, but pretty much at the end of August. And yeah, I guess you could say it falls within the category of cultural shock or something. I don't know, it was just unusual to me as somebody not from America. Yeah, here I'm just coloring, layering, and figuring. Here I'm just going. Here I'm just going and figuring it out as I go. Personally, I would have loved it if I was able to show even what I color mixed. Yeah, color mixed. However, I only have a limited amount of physical space and a limited amount of camera framing space. So sometimes when I get into the groove, I just forget to show what I'm doing. But clearly here, as it is the black, I'm probably using the swatch that's next to the dark indigo to its left, because it just looks black, so making my life easier. With the pumpkins and the road, I wanted the road to indicate like a whole road with fallen leaves, autumn leaves. Autumn is my favorite season out of all four of them. Even though I'm a spring child, I just love autumn colors. It's like such a gorgeous mix, like it's so fiery, but then it has green to tone it down, and even when it's brown, it's so aesthetically pleasing. And when you look at the mountains, when the lunch sun hits them, it's like, oh wow. Anyways, I was trying to indicate, I'm not really into detailings, as you can see, indicate that the road would be filled with autumn leaves all falling through. That's why I made it orange. And the pumpkins are also orange, so it was a lot bit of a struggle to kind of separate them. Also, even though I like to think that I'm pretty good at color mixing, sometimes my brain just goes, you what? You think you're good at it? No, honey, let me show you. I'm better than that. Let's make you doubt yourself. Yeah, that is how it is as you use new to you mediums. But I try and I continue, even if I'm like, oh please, let's make it work out, please. Is literally what I was telling to myself as I was going with these colors. And sometimes you don't know how the piece is going to be until you're done with it, which is as what many artists say, just trust the process. Trusting the process is actually super hard. But it is the thing that, you like it or not, has to be done. Here I just put like a piece of paper behind the main page I was drawing on, just so I could have clear edges with no interruptions of the painting process. And as you can see, just to not mess up the working surface I was using. I think I like this format, just having my thoughts flow inconsistently as I am doing the voiceover of the drawing painting process, since it is unfortunate and I don't know if you train, like you acquire it as a skill, but whenever I read something it always sounds like robotic, or like I'm like the news interpreter, and I don't like the feel of that. I just would love to have my thoughts, all of them, flow with my since that way it feels more genuine. No, like it is genuine to me, to be the most precise, because sometimes things pop up in my head and then they pop out, and if I'm about to make a script I would be stuck, as like at the beginning of the video with the thumbnailings and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all the main reasonings. Here we come to the next day after everything has dried, and let's get the close-up. On the close-up I tried to grab it with the to see if the camera fetch grabs it, whatever. Like the whole painting was glittery because of all the graphite. It was so nice, and if the sunlight shines on it it's even more visible. And here you get like the full close-up of all the details of the image that I made. So whoever you may be, wherever you may be, I wish you happy holidays or happy Halloween or whatever you are celebrating in the way you are celebrating it. And somebody should make a beatbox out of I'm no singer. I actually suck at rhythm and stuff, and I'm bubbling, yabbling, blah, blah. So originally yeah, pretty much that's about it. I think I went on too many tangents. Yeah, sure, whatever.